Welcome to the game room. So anyway, one of the reasons I've been gone for the past month, minus that video I just posted recently, the Comic-Con box unboxing, which I'm never going to miss, is because I've been setting this thing up. You know, been setting up a game room. It's about like 99% there, 98% there. I need to put in a couple more things. It's taking me a little bit, but I might do a full tour. If you guys want that, let me know. If you don't let me know, and I will probably do one anyway. But it's almost done, and I think it looks pretty good so far. And I hope you do too. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We are here to talk about this guy. This little guy, right? He's not little at all, actually. This giant monster of a console. And actually, arguably, and truthfully, the Xbox One is much bigger than this. And the original Xbox is much, much bigger than this. But still, it's a big console, and it's a heavy console. This thing, you could lift it. You could lift it to work out if you really wanted to. So why are we talking about the Xbox 360? Well, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, it is now 10 years old. It actually turned 10 on November 22nd. And if that's wrong, I'm sorry. And November 22nd, 2005 is the day that this was released. Now, I didn't get mine in 2005, I got mine in 2006. But it was still, I think, a little bit before the whole Red Ring of Death fiasco thing, which was pretty bad for this system. And for any system to survive something like that is pretty amazing. So, regardless of what I'm about to say about it, which is pretty much just high praises forever, is that I'm still amazed that this was able to, you know, make up for that Red Ring of Death thing. That was horrible, and I had many friends that suffered from it, and a lot of people that just like have been through multiple Xboxes. I know somebody who's been through 4 Xboxes, and I know even somebody who claims they've been through 10 Xbox 360s. I don't know if that's true, but I have been through none. Never had a problem with any of them, ever. This is one of the original ones. I upgraded the hard drive to a 60GB hard drive many moons ago, but I don't use this one anymore. It still works perfectly fine, but I use the Xbox 360 Slim because it's just sleeker and smaller and better, and has a 250GB hard drive, which is definitely larger than 60, and especially larger than the 20 it originally came from. It's an amazing system, and it's 10 years old now, and I feel like I basically just grew up with it in my house forever. And it's weird now that this is as old as it is. I'm 20, so this thing is half my age. That means that some kid that I know, let's say one of my cousins for example, they're like 9, they're about 10, they weren't alive when this came out. Is that weird to anybody else? It's really weird to me. The main system I remember when growing up is the GameCube, because that was really my first video game system. That was mine. I had the 64, my brothers did, and the Super Nintendo was the first system I can remember playing, but the GameCube is really the first system that I felt was mine. But this thing is what I grew up on. This is what I really went through all my teen years with. All like the really important times of my life were with this system. And that, you know, is strange that it's this old now and has been this long, and it's just, I don't know, it's such a weird trip down memory lane to even look at this thing again and think about it and play these games that I still play today. There's so many 360 games that are still great. And with backwards compatibility, which I said right that time on the Xbox One, it's really fun to revisit some of these games on a system with a controller that's a bit better. At least for me, I like it a bit better. So there's stuff like that. I've been playing Mirror's Edge a lot, especially with the new one coming out in May. Can't wait. Regardless of any of that, that has nothing to do with what we're trying to talk about today. I'm talking about the 360. and I'm going to put this off to the side because it's just heavy and obnoxious. It's a great system, and it's really something that if you haven't played a 360 before, which is probably impossible to be honest, but if you haven't, you have to. I mean, it is such a good system with such good games that it's the reason why it survived that whole Red Ring of Death thing. At one point, about 56% of Xbox 360s were failures. They'd get the red ring immediately, they were duds, basically. That's horrible. That's like over half of them are useless. Were useless. The half of them that were released were totally useless and had to be sent back to Microsoft. That's really bad. That's very, very bad for a company. Thankfully it was Microsoft. They have more money than anybody in the world. Not really, but still, that they were able to put over $1.5 billion into the system and be like, I don't give a shit what happened with this thing. We're putting it back out there. We're making it work. Good on them, but still a really bad situation to start off with. They barely even made money on the 360 until several years later. And, you know, even 10 years later, I mean, it was in the longest lasting generation, basically. I mean, not really, but basically it was. It was amazing. It was a crazy time. So I'm going to go through some of my favorite games on the system, a lot of which are multi-platform. They're not 360 exclusive, so bear with me. I know you're like, well, that doesn't even count, you idiot. But it does, because it's the system I played it on. It's the memories I have. But what I'm going to start with is definitely exclusive, and excuse the horrible box art, but it is Halo 3. I don't know if you can read that, but I wrote Halo 3 on there. But I promise you, Halo 3 is in there, and there's Master Chief, and the multiplayer disc is behind that. If I could figure out a way to, you know, find how many hours I've played this game, if there is a way, please let me know, because I don't know of one. But if I could figure out how many hours I've actually played this game, I actually don't want to know. I don't want to know. It'd be too many hours. The custom games, the multiplayer, when SWAT came out, when all these other things came out, double freaking teams, invasion, oh my gosh, infection, everything that was part of this game, particularly the multiplayer, but even the single player. This is my favorite Halo campaign. I love the last level. It's freaking great. And I'm not really a Halo campaign person. I don't think they're that fun. Sorry, I'm not interested. But I played them all, but I just don't care. They bore me. I don't know why. Get over it. But the multiplayer on this is so good. And it's one of my favorite games of all time. Hands down. I'm going to start holding it up because it's really ugly. But it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it deserves it because of the amount of hours I play with my friends. Oh my god. That's years of my life into that game. For real. Seriously. But they may have upped the ante a tiny bit. And I know some people are going to be a little controversial about this and say, this isn't up in the ante, you're an idiot. But Halo Reach, my god, is this game good. I know this is scheduled to go on backwards compatibility, and when it does, I'm playing it immediately. I'm installing it into my Xbox One, and I'm freaking going live with my friend, and we are going to play the crap out of this game, because this is our favorite Halo, really. Even though Halo 3 has more memories to me than this does, this is still fantastic. Forge World, I mean, come on. Come on. This game, and as you can see, this is like the limited edition collector's thing. I have a Halo, the statue that came with it up there. It's, I mean, I was very excited for Halo Reach. It was probably one of my most anticipated games ever. And when it came out, oh man, I love that thing. Oh my god, I still do. I mean, jetpacks and stuff, they're so fun. And all of you people who want Halo to always have sprint, get out of here. We don't need sprint. Sprint should be a perk like how it is in that game, that you have to either sacrifice jetpacks, holograms, other perks, I can't remember all of them, or sprint. You can sprint if you want to, if that's what you think is the best. It isn't. You're wrong. Anyway, let's move on from that. I love Halo Reach. It's so fun. To another game I have really fond memories of, and that is Skate 2. Skate 1 was a great skateboarding game. Probably one of the best. I know people like Tony Hawk. I'm alright with it. I have great memories with it on the N64. but it's not really my thing as far as skateboarding games go. I'm not even a fan of them to begin with, but Skate is a whole nother thing. The way you skateboard and stuff in this, using the stick to do the tricks, not just the buttons, is so good. This game is so good. I spent an entire summer playing this game from 9 a.m. in the morning to 6 a.m. at night, or the next morning, whatever it is. I'd sleep for 3 or 4 hours, wake up, play it again. I would sleep on the couch. It was bad, not what you should do with your summer if you're a kid and you're gonna be in summer. Don't do that. But it is what I did with one of my friends, and we couldn't handle how good it was. We would play Skate against each other, you know, doing tricks after one another. We would skate around, we'd build our own parks. Then we figured out a glitch where you could like fly off, and wherever you landed is where you respawned, and we'd get into whole nother glitch worlds, and we would just explore that area. Then we tried to get on the front page of the videos that you could upload, so we tried to do funny things and try to you know, make the best videos. Hall of Meat, oh, Hall of Meat was so good. Hall of Meat is basically where you can bail on your board and you fall, and whoever does the most damage to their body in the fall gets the most points, and it actually is a multiplayer game type on there. Ooh, man, that is fun. That game was so fun, and I can't describe how many hours I put into it, but I'm glad I did. It's great memories for me and great memories for a lot of you, I'm sure, if you did play that game. Moving on from that, one of my favorite games of all time, the Orange Box. Particularly that one in the middle, which is Portal. Half-Life and Team Fortress are obviously great as well, but Portal is really what got me. It's a great game. It's really worth playing. Great puzzle game if you're into puzzles. If you're into puzzles and first-person shooters, even though you're not really shooting at something, you're shooting something, which is the Portals. If you're into first-person games and puzzle games, if you haven't played Portal, what are you doing, man? And Portal 2 is fantastic as well. Probably better, but still, I have to love the original. There's another thing that happened when the 360 was not towards the end of its life, but, you know, probably a few years in, 4 years in, 5 years in. I think 4 years in. It was 4 years. 4 years in, they announced a little thing called Project Natal. Now, I don't know if a lot of you remember that name, but I do. When Project Natal was announced, it looked like the coolest thing in the entire world. It was blowing everybody's mind for real. People were losing their shit on this thing. I'm not kidding you, it was a huge thing. Everyone was like, I can't believe this is real life. This is what's happening. I'm so excited to play this. That's kind of where the problem started. The way they pitched it was like this genius thing. You walked up to it, it said, "Good morning, sensei," whatever it wanted to say. Ready to fight somebody? And you'd be like, yeah, I'm ready to fight somebody. And they'd be like, okay. Launch you into a multiplayer game where you're face to face with somebody, your fists are up, and you're about to fight them in real time, real body movements. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. What came of it? The Kinect. Still have the box. Still have the Kinect out. I plug it in. I have it plugged in. I have that one plugged in. I have the Xbox One Kinect plugged in. I enjoy them quite a bit. But they weren't what they advertised to be originally. But then again, what is really? The thing with the Kinect is that it has very few good games. I only own 2 good games on the Kinect. 3 if you count Dance Central, which I do. I think those games are actually really fun for, you know, a party atmosphere. But what it launched with, besides Kinect Adventures, which is okay, the main game it launched with, similar to the Wii, is Kinect Sports. Kinect Sports is great. I don't really care what anybody says. The bowling on this is fun. The tennis is fun. Volleyball's fun. Every table tennis, not tennis, whatever. Same thing. It's not, but still. The soccer is fun. The track and field is exhausting. And honestly, if you play this game enough, you will end up being very sore and probably be a little bit healthier doing it. You actually do have to move around quite a bit with the track and field stuff, so that's cool if you're into exercise. The thing with the Kinect is that the things that people did with it outside of gaming is cooler than what gaming had to offer with it. People have, captured their face with motion capture. They've been able to do stuff like that. Able to have 3D scans of their entire room using 3 of them. People have done crazy things with the Kinect, and it's pretty amazing, and it really is a cool piece of equipment that Microsoft made to be used for gaming when really it had much better uses than that did. Similar to how virtual reality might have better uses in medical fields than really in gaming field, but it's still cool, so who cares? I don't. But one of my favorite games on the Kinect, which you don't need the Kinect to play, but it says better with Kinect sensor, and for this one, it's not lying to you, is Child of Eden. This was made by the guy who made Rez, or the company that made Rez. I'm not sure. One of those two things are true, or neither of them are true. Who knows? I don't. But it is a game where you basically, as you can see that little guy down there playing with his hands, you use your hands to shoot 2 different kind of projectiles. It's like one's a machine gun and one's like a little charge-up thing where you highlight things and then you shoot it and it goes with all of them. But the way the game's made with the music is what's really cool. When you're hitting something with the machine gun, it's drums. And the drums are hitting, it's not like you see drums, you just see blocks and stuff that you're shooting at, but the sound is drums. And it goes with the music in such a unique way, and it's just so good. All the music is by this band called Jinky Rockets, which are kind of a J-pop band from Japan. But man, I ended up loving that band. It's kind of a guilty pleasure band of mine, and the freaking music, the remixes and stuff in that game are so good. If you have a Kinect and you haven't picked up Child of Eden, do it. I think it's the best game on the Kinect. A lot of people do as well, so maybe I'm not wrong, but it's all opinion based, so who knows. But if you do want more serious gameplay, then you can go to a very, very popular 360 exclusive, that is Gears of War. Everyone knows what Gears of War is. Great game series. I really enjoy it. I know a lot of my friends really enjoy it. One of my friends doesn't even own a game system. He loves Gears of War. It's a really good game. It was a really good, game for the 360 to really show what it is, what market it's going for, and it did that and it did it well. I mean, people love this series and I do too. I think it's really great. I got in it pretty late actually. The first time I ever played a Gears of War was, I don't know, 2012, 2011. Bit late in the game, literally, but it's still really fun. And it's a great game. If you haven't played it, go check it out. Nice third-person shooter. I enjoy it. But what the same company that made Gears of War cranked out for us is one of my favorite games of all time. You guys are gonna be like, you're dumb, you stupid idiot. Bulletstorm. Ooh, this game is good. I can't even stand how good this game is. It's like a popcorn shooter to the next level. If you don't know what that means, basically it just means that it's a shooter that doesn't take itself seriously. It's fun. It just like, the mechanics are just what they are. You shoot somebody, you can shoot them in the face, their head explodes, and then you get points for shooting them in the face for their heads exploding. Oh wait, that's like every shooter. That's not a good example. You can also kick people. You can kick them, they fly off in slow motion while you're still in regular motion and everyone else is, but if you kick them, they go into slow motion. Hard to describe. But basically there would be like a cactus. You can kick the guy into a cactus and you get points for kicking him into a cactus. You can kick a guy off a ledge, you get points for kicking him off a ledge. You can kick him into a giant Venus flytrap, you get points for that. You have a lasso tool, you can lasso somebody, bring them towards you, or lasso them, pound them on the ground, let them fly up in the air, a bunch of people at the same time. Shoot them all down. You can shoot somebody in the dick, and then they hold their dick while they're hurting, and then you can go up and kick them in the face, and their face explodes, and you get points for that. Basically, the more creatively you kill somebody, the more points you get. So it makes it a lot of fun. There's a whole lot of different ways to kill people. There's tons of ways to do it, and it's really cool game, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air as far as shooters go. So I highly recommend it. If you haven't played it, go ahead and play it. For a game that I think you probably have played, that's also a nice, refreshing breath of fresh air, God, I said that wrong, of shooters, is Borderlands. Man, when this game came out, it was also a pretty big deal. Doing an awesome ad campaign with the freaking KG Elephant song, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. Oh man. It hit the world hard, and everyone liked it. Everyone loved it. It's a great game. It really is. Offering split screen and stuff is something that I really enjoy and something that we kind of take for granted nowadays. Well, no, we don't, because we don't have it. Huh. We take for granted that we had it. We took for granted, whatever. You know, it had split screen, and I played with my friend Spencer all the time on that game, and we played almost through the entire thing, and we were just so obsessed with getting new loot, doing new things, killing new freaking enemies, just doing as much as we could, and some of it was really hard, and some of it was really easy, but a lot of it was really fun. I know a lot of the games I mentioned are on other systems, like the PS3, but, you know, I play them on 360, that's where the memories for me stand, and that's why I'm talking about them today, right now. Where was I going with it? But anyway, that's my memories with the 360, but I'd love to know what your guys' memories are, and I hope that you tell me, because I would really like to read it, and I hope that you guys have as fond memories as I do, or maybe you don't have any, maybe you never played the 360, which again, I can't imagine, but it is very possible. So, please let me know what you guys think about the 360, let me know all your thoughts, and I totally understand if you're a PS3 guy, you like that better. I have a PS3 sitting right over there, it's a great system. I have no beef with Sony, no beef with Nintendo, I love them all, I love all games, as long as they're fun. I am there for them, but the 360 is 10 years old, so I thought I'd talk about it. And it's crazy it's been that long, but you know what? It has. Time has moved on. And I think that we should too, so stop releasing AAA games for the 360, please. We're done. It's over. Just let it die. Hey, if it's still making money, then that's a good sign. It means the system does still have some life in it, which is crazy. 10 years later, it's still getting AAA games. Insane. Black Ops 3 was released for it. Multiplayer only, but still it got a release. Blows my mind. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you tell me about your 360 experiences and memories or whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next video.